Tuesday, February the 17th of 2026. I'd like to remind the audience that this meeting is being recorded and or taped. I'd like the clerk to note that all commissioners are present. Before we begin each meeting, we start with the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight, Commissioner Hostetler will lead us in prayer.
Let's bow. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many ways you've blessed us, Lord, this fine city that you've given us to handle the business of. We pray that you'd guide us tonight. Lord, we pray for the firefighters out by Ashland as they deal with that. We pray for the people in charge of PRMC, that you would give them wisdom to see them through this difficulty they're having. Lord, we just depend on you for so much and ask that you would do that. So please bless our meeting tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Monty. All right, before we start our meeting, we of course do have the approval of the agenda. Gina or Cody, is there anything that needs to be taken off, or are we good to go to approve the agenda?
We're good to go, unless you, yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the agenda for Tuesday, February 17th of 2026 as presented. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All righty. Moving on to our minutes for February the 2nd of 2026 regular meeting. Bree, any corrections or anything from that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, perfect. With that being said, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from February the 2nd of 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the minutes from February the 2nd of 2026. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, perfect. Now on to business 6.1. Pratt Rotary Club Tree donation. Amy Prater and Suzanne Patton.
Hi, thank you for taking time in your busy agenda for us. We just wanted to come this evening with the little check and the big check and to present this to you. While I am the president of Rotary, I have to say that Suzanne is the chair of our service committee and she really took charge of this. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, I would just like to say that Rotary's support of Lemon Park started when we wrote a grant, and we now have a Rotary bench, and we added a tree and a little library to Lemon Park. And as all community members, we love the park. We also know that there's a need for trees, and so I have a lot of conversations with Danny Quint about various projects in the park, and we knew that he was replacing trees. So our entire club fully supports this idea of donating $1,000 for the purchase of trees in Lemon Park. It's a lasting gift, and we're happy to do that. So that's our gift to the park. And we have lots of Rotarians that are here to support the effort. And do we need them in this picture?
Do we have time?
Oh yeah, you guys have time.
Okay.
Here's the little check, the one you probably really want.
Yes.
Yes.
We love the big check.
Right.
Blue shirt's a symbol.
Yes.
Hey Doug, we're Rotarians, we should probably do that.
You think?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, you guys
Okay,
go.
all right.
Yeah, you want
We
to go
can.
up here?
Yeah, you guys can do it up here. Yeah,
Okay. It looks great in the newsletter.
yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, I'd like, on behalf of the Parks Department, I want to thank
How are you doing?
for everything.
Vertical.
Yeah,
Still in college?
Yes.
yeah.
She can take a picture.
You get up front. You get up front. You're,
I can stand in the back, I'm really short.
Just, yeah,
Stand by Lloyd.
no. It's the other way
Kyle,
around.
let's photobomb.
If I could just peek through
Yeah.
one of the corners.
1, 2, 3, gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
I looked at that way, but you're right.
Yeah. Oh. Strange how
all
things
very
worked out,
much.
Yes,
isn't it?
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
Yeah, of course. Danny, I am kind of curious, how many trees have we lost in Lemons Park?
I'm on about 45,
Ooh.
Wow.
so, and I just ordered 20 today.
How big?
Well, they're 2 inch.
Oh, so not in our, so not in our lifetime.
3 inch, I mean, was anywhere $500-600. 2 inch cost about $350.
Oh, gosh.
Gotcha.
So, we'll keep them alive.
Were the 45 trees in the past year or a longer time frame?
I'd say in the last 2 years.
2 years?
And that's mostly due to the droughts and everything, right? Not really
Well,
age?
and that pines, all them pines, we're gonna lose every one of those
Yeah.
pines. Just
Yeah.
disease. But then, the rest of them trees are 85, 90 years old,
Yeah.
so they got a lifespan just like us.
Well,
And they're at the end. but
well, we
thank you.
appreciate
We're
all
gonna
you
plant
do.
a lot.
Thank you for the money, thank you for taking
Yes,
care of it
thank
all.
you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you, Rotary. We appreciate it. Okay.
Right, I'll get this to the-
All righty. Yes, thank you, guys. All right, moving on to 6.2, consideration of resolution number 021726-A, dangerous structure at 712 North Pine. Mr. Cody Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution was drafted in response to the last meeting that we had. We had continued the original hearing on this to allow the owner to obtain alternative housing. He was living in a camper type unit on the property. At the last meeting, Robert did confirm he's obtained different housing and is off the property. So at that point, the commission decided to move forward with the fact that it was a dangerous structure. The owner admitted it was a dangerous structure. And so this includes the timeline that the commission approved for that 15 days to complete, and then 30 days to finish it. And then if that timeline is not followed by the owner, it gives the city the authorization then pursuant to state statute and our city code to remove the structure.
And his camper's off his property too, right?
The camper's still there.
The camper's still there? Okay.
Has he made arrangements for it already?
I'm not 100% sure about the camper.
Okay.
I knew they talked about the neighbor moving it, but that was the last time.
So-
It's still there.
So what happens if, after the 15-day mark, we don't take possession of the camper, do we, or?
No, it's the camper would not be the dangerous structure. It's the house that is on the property. So, I mean, the city needs to do the work around it, or temporarily move it, or maybe we can work something out with the owner so that it's not an issue when demolition occurs.
Okay.
It's 2 different violations.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the land will still belong to Mr. Willard.
Okay.
It's just the structure will be gone.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'd make a motion that we pass resolution number 021726-A, dangerous structure on 712 North Pine.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution number 021726-A, dangerous structure for 712 North Pine as presented. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alrighty, moving on to 6.3, consideration of resolution number 021726-B, nuisance violations at 1311 North Nenasko. Mr. Cody Smith.
So the resolution we just took up was for dangerous structure. This resolution is for nuisance violation. We had the hearing on this property at the last meeting. At that meeting, there was evidence presented. The commission ultimately decided that the nuisances did in fact exist, and so this resolution sets forth the procedure that has been followed, that it was properly followed by Mr. Walker in terms of his position as the enforcement officer, and then also sets forth the actual violations of the nuisance code, and additionally sets forth how Mr. Hollister needs to abate those issues and what he needs to abate. Also includes provision in there that if he does not do so within that period of time, which was set by the commission, it was a 15-day to start again, 30-day to complete. That process, that timeline isn't required by the code, but that's what the commission decided on to give him time to at least start and complete it. And if he does not do so, then this additionally has the provision that the city can go in and abate it, similar to the danger structure process.
And I'm assuming no changes have been happening.
Has he contacted you at all? No, not at all.
Yeah, I drove by there last week. It looks worse.
Now, Cody, how does this affect 1313? Because they're adjoining properties that both have John Gray.
Correct. For 1313, Mr. Hollister did not request the hearing for that property, so we had already moved forward with the resolution. The commission already passed that resolution. We held off on serving it. This was just a month or so ago, because then Mr. Hollister had this property come up, and so the plan is if the commission decides to approve this resolution, he will be served. He, as in Mr. Hollister, will be served with both resolutions, and then that way the city could move forward with abatement on both properties since they are adjoining. It made sense to do them at the same time, especially if he was going to try to move things back and forth. We did have 1313 in municipal court. He was found guilty on the criminal side of that matter for 1313, but he has filed a notice of appeal for district court, so we may have to be taking that up. However, with the nuisance process, it's an either or. We have what I would consider the civil side, this process through the resolutions, and then we also have the criminal. So that particular appeal is not going to affect the city's ability to resolve these issues. And if the city does ultimately resolve these issues, it would most likely make his appeal moot. But just to keep you updated on that, and I'll let you know if there's anything else that comes up here.
So Robert, you're saying that he's starting to move his stuff over on the other side of the street? So. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, do we need to make sure to pass a nuisance violation on that property as well? Okay. 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 Well, I think this one's a tweak.
So I'd move that we pass resolution number 021726-B, nuisance violation at 1311 North Minnesota.
It's been moved and seconded that we pass resolution number 021726-B, nuisance violations at 1311 North Minnesota. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, moving on to 6.4, consideration of funding request for the Raybo sweeper engine replacement. Nick Loffer? Loffer, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Nick Loffer, he had it. And I am foreman for the street department. Roy's been out on medical, so I guess this is my time. A little backstory on it. I don't know how much you guys know, but we had, I think it was right before the first of the year. The date was kind of lost there, but we had a catastrophic engine failure. And it sent metal through the whole engine, and through talking to two different mechanics and having it looked at, it was deemed that a complete engine replacement is the cost-effective way to go. And so we went through and got 3 different bids on engine replacement. One from the company that sold us the machine.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Perhaps I'm going to back from you. Is it from that mic or is it from our mic?
New guy. Every time.
We did not do that on purpose, I promise.
I'm gonna turn it back on just to see.
It'll probably build over time, so
Yeah.
when you start to hear it.
Well, and sometimes it's the wire.
All right, I'll put it down here and straighten it out.
We'll give that a try.
No, it's starting to start up again.
They won't be able to hear me. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Brad, here, you can have mine temporary.
No, I'll just flip it on.
I have nothing to report.
Everyone's going to give Brad the mic.
All the
Sorry, Nick.
No, I'm good.
Number 6, Mike, is the problem. We numbered them last time so we could.
Perfect.
Oh, it's live now.
All right.
Okay, so engine failure, mechanics said that total replacement is the best way to go. So we got 3 different bids, one from Red Equipment, who's where we bought the sweeper from. We've got another one from Detweiler Diesel Repair here in town, and another from Morgan Diesel here in town. The one that I would like to go with is the least expensive. It beats them on engine price just slightly, but labor mostly. And it comes in at $25,806.70. And I think you guys have all 3 bids.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
okay.
do, yeah.
So you can see the differences there, and they're pretty big differences, mostly in labor. And so,
And Nick, the quote for $230,000, is that the quote for a brand new one?
that's not a quote. That's just the sale.
That's the original
The
one.
original sale of the machine,
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
which we still owe on. I don't know if anybody cares, but
No.
it is part of the thought process there.
So this says estimate for services. Is it a bid or just an estimate?
On
Detweiler?
Detweiler's, no, that is his estimate for repair. Yeah.
Okay, in my mind, an estimate is not binding, a bid is binding, so do you know if it's binding that they will do it for this amount?
Monty, with all of these, it's a very best guess is what they could go with, because they don't actually know what they're gonna find when they get in there, but based on other engine replacements and projects they've had in the past, that's their very best guess. They know what the engine's gonna cost to replace. They just don't know exactly what the labor is gonna be once they get in there. Some of the other bids did have extensive parts added to them. We think those are precautionary, so they have them on hand and won't actually be needed. Detweiler's bid did not think they would be needed, since that's gonna be a new crate engine. It should all be included. So, best guess, that is a bid estimate. So we have to, I mean, that's all we can go off of.
So nobody's given a bid, everybody's given
Nobody,
an estimate.
nobody will hard bid one of these, because they don't want to bury themselves if something catastrophic else is.
Yeah.
So that's all we can go off, is it's a best estimate. So.
Okay.
So do we want to make it easy in case, do we want to say like if we make a motion for Detweiler to do this, do we want to say like, hey, cap it like just 30,000? Because again, if we approve for 25, I mean, and they say, hey, it's going to be 27, you know, or does that merely make a?
I think we'd go with this, and it's Regina's discretionary for any excess.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't approve for more than 10,000, so if
Okay.
it's more than
No.
10,000 above the quote, then I'll come
No,
back to you.
that's perfectly fine. I was just asking the question, of course. So
Yeah, it was a good thought.
yeah. Any? Do we want to make?
Oh, you need a motion.
Yep.
I'll make, go ahead. I'll make a motion that we approve the estimate for the engine repair on the street sweeper to Detweiler Diesel in the amount of $25,806.70.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the funding request for the engine repair for the Ravo sweeper engine replacement from Detweiler Diesel for the total of $25,806.70. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, 6.5 now, consideration of the funding request for the sewer truck. Mr. Jeff Shanline.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With us this evening is John Kissel, newly appointed superintendent at wastewater. He's going to make the presentation for
Okay.
purchase, and I'll follow up with questions.
Perfect.
It's trial by fire. Welcome,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, day 5. Good luck.
I told my wife, I said, my very first thing I get to do within days of being superintendent is ask for a large amount of money for a piece of equipment. So I guess the new guy hopefully has some grace tonight, but we're going to figure this out. On we go. We're asking for the funding for a new combination truck. I believe you have the 3 bids, and the one recommendation that we are looking for about $528,056.70 for a Vactor combination truck. Our current truck is 23 years old, and for the last several years, it has broken down several times throughout the year as we tried to maintain our sewer lines, and so it is nickeling and diming us. And so we are at a point where we are in need of this new equipment, and so we are asking for approval for this purchase.
The only difference I noticed on the additional quotes for there was a 541,200, but the funding form said 528.
Yes, we got 2 bids for 2 different trucks from all 3 companies.
Okay.
The 541 is basically for a brand new 2026 Vector, if I am correct on that. This is the key salesman.
Okay.
So the higher price one is for one that is coming in middle of next month. So that is for a brand new one. The lesser of the 2 is for one that is a demonstration model. So we took it to trade shows and stuff. It's only got about a little over 3,000 miles on it. It still was going to have the full factory warranty and everything. So
Okay.
nothing really between the 2 of them except for one's going to be a 2025.
Okay.
So.
And one of the considerations that John has in requesting the truck that he is the location of the vendor and how that applies to any future repairs. John, could you explain?
Yeah, right now, with our VATCon, repairs come out of Kansas City. So if we break down and we need to have them come, it's at least a 4-hour drive. Usually we have to schedule them to come, so we are down without a truck. Could be for several days. Whereas Vactor, they have a shop in Great Bend. They are an hour away. Vince is a great guy. They have a great shop guy. And so if we need parts or if they need to come, they are here in an hour usually. And so that's a huge thing for us, that the availability for quicker service makes a big difference.
What's the goal with the old sewage truck? Are we gonna purple wave this, or is this like
Well, there are some options. Purple Wave is the first option we could do. But talking with the Red equipment salesman, of course, we bought this from Red 23 years ago. We are about 12 years too late in trying to move this truck. He is saying that the best that we could hope to get is probably $10,000 at best at that truck. And so we've been trying to figure out, do we want to purple wave it? Do we want to open it up to maybe other communities around that don't have a truck? I don't know, but purple wave would be the first option for sure.
I did some research on Purple Wave, going back through previous sales. There's probably a market on Purple Wave for that truck at about $30,000 based on previous auctions on a very close comparable truck. So, I mean, it's not what I expected for it to be valued at, and of course it's an auction, so it's dependent on how many people are fighting over it. But we also are in no particular rush to send it off. That way we have a backup short term, while the guys are training, should anything go wrong with a new truck, there's no reason to hurry up and get rid of it. The only challenge with it is storage. So, and we can park it outside, hopefully not long term, but we can store it on the wastewater facility with no problem.
Okay. How much, I guess the account, it says right here, needs to be established, I guess, on where the money would come from, of course. That's what it says, name of the account to be established.
Yeah, so the next agenda item after this agenda item is a lease purchase agreement. And
Okay.
so Jeff has already solicited lease purchase bids from
Okay.
three banks. People's Bank, Legacy Bank, and Fusion Bank. The Fusion Bank wasn't,
They don't go to a 10-year term on
Okay.
their leases, and for our budgeting reasons, that's what we put in for, so that we could afford the lease payment. So if I didn't include that in the packet, that is why, because they didn't go to 10 years.
and the wastewater did begin budgeting for this item in 2026. So Tara, I don't remember, do you remember what line, we put it in capital equipment, but do you remember how much?
Correct, yeah. And I talked to Tara about that this morning. June of '25, when we budgeted capital equipment for $100,000, that was anticipation for this lease purchase. That way, in this year's budget, we will take this amount of payment out of capital equipment and establish a new line item in the 500 category, just like we did for the sanitation truck. And then that will still allow enough in capital equipment that we shouldn't have to worry about that line item going forward. I believe we discussed we were going to be short about $7,000. Right, so that's all we would have to budget for in June to cover both capital equipment and the purchase price. If we're going to jump to B or wait for A?
Well, they have to approve it.
Yeah, we have
first.
to first approve it. I'm sorry, I kind of may have jumped ahead of the.
No.
Oh,
that-
no.
That's fine.
So we're approving the acquisition of a truck. That's the first step, and then the second step is the financing.
Correct.
How old is the truck you're replacing?
Our current truck is 23 years old.
You've done well.
It's been a workhorse, but it's showing its age these past few years.
It's vital. If you, I mean, I think that the wastewater and our sewage treatment is one of the most vital services we provide to our citizens.
We use that truck every year to maintain our sewer main, so it's out. As soon as it starts getting warm enough, our guys are usually out all through the summer maintaining those lines. So our current truck has been used hard, and so I believe if we put this truck out this year, it's going to have another breakdown that's going to put us back. So this has been something we've been discussing in our department for several years now, and we're at a point where it's kind of a critical thing.
I think a year and a half ago, I went to the wastewater treatment plant and looked at a truck very similar to what they're approving tonight. And even then, we were coming to you with fear and hesitation because of the high cost, but it is a necessary piece of equipment.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
I'd make a motion that we approve the funding request for the Vector combination truck from Key Equipment. The price is $528,056.23 to be paid through a lease.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of a Vector combination truck from Key Equipment and Supply Company for the total of $528,056.23 through a lease payment plan. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now we have 6.5.2, the lease purchase agreement for the sewer truck.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As previously stated, we went out for lease bids from the three local banks, Legacy, People, and Fusion Banks. Fusion did not provide us with a 10-year option on their bid, so we did not include it. Based on the payment on the options, the 10-year from Legacy was 10 years at 5.75%, and that came to $71,180.40. And People's Bank for the same 10-year was at a 4.72% fixed, and that came to $67,681 per year. The People's Bank, however, also had a origination fee of $2,640. That is a one-time fee, and they had an early termination fee that extended out to 5 years with no fee after 5 years. I don't anticipate that being a problem because I doubt we paid off inside of 5. with those, I would recommend that we take the People's Bank bid on 10 years for 4.72% fixed for $67,681. No sense. No sense.
Okay. Now, I guess, can I ask where would the money? I mean, so what area is this coming out of? I guess
We're going to transfer or establish a new line item 456,500 for a lease purchase of this equipment, and that will come out of capital equipment in June. We will just re-budget that money into that line item,
Okay.
and then that will still allow us to have $40,000 toward capital equipment in the future. So really, the only addition for budgeting we'll be asking for is the $7,681.
Okay.
And they will come under, in 2026, they will come under at least that much. You know, there's a differentiation of salaries because of the new hires and
Okay.
so. Tara, did you have anything to add to where the money will come from?
No, we had that all kind of noted during last budget session too. So.
Okay. Perfect. I guess I'll make the motion that we approve of the People's Bank for a 10-year term, estimated annual payment of $67,681 at 4.72% fixed. All right. It's been moved and seconded that we approve of the lease purchase agreement for the sewer truck through the People's Bank at a 10-year term, estimated annual payment at $67,681 at 4.72% fixed. Any other discussion?
I'll abstain.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Passes 4-0 to 1. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys for all that. All right. Now moving on to 6.6, consideration of a mission statement. Miss Regina Goff and Mr. Shanline.
Thank you. So I think that we will share the commentary. Jeff came to me a week or two ago and said, what is the city's mission statement? And I said, we don't have a mission statement. And he was filling out a grant application that asked for a mission statement. He said, well, I have to put something there. And so we figured out how to, I think we worded it, you know, he may have added one of these and said, under review by city commission, you know, so that it's not permanent. He pulled these suggestions from, he used AI as an assistant and pulled some suggestions, but it does just bring up the conversation that we would like the commission to consider establishing a mission statement. It doesn't have to be one of these. Jeanette made a suggestion when she and I spent some time together last week, and she said, well, why don't we have the people, the citizens, vote or suggest a mission statement for us? And I'm certainly open to that. It's just so that the next time we have a grant application that asks for a mission statement, that we're able to answer that.
Yeah, I concur as well. I think it'd be good to have some options on, and then of course saying let the citizens decide on it. Since again, it is about the city, and we'd like to see what our citizens say should the city's mission statement be. So.
Do you have anything to add?
No, I pretty much nailed it. I just threw in, you know, what I thought the city's values would be, and you know, rural Kansas values would be, and I took the first one it said, so. It'll also translate it to or Latin if you want to.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but no one else would understand it.
I like the second one, but I think it's a good idea to involve the public, because we're not in that big a hurry. You've satisfied your grant application with something.
We were already denied.
Yeah, we didn't get past the initial, but
But still going forward. And
lessons learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was because we didn't have a solid mission statement.
How confident are you we're going to get some input?
Well, Bree, can we do some sort of a Facebook campaign asking citizens for suggestions on a mission statement?
I think we'll get some interesting suggestions.
You're probably right.
And we
We
can,
could always give some options and let people vote on them and
I think that's the better.
Yeah,
because-
yeah. That's what I was kind of going with, is like we give them some options.
You're gonna have to read all the suggestions, so I.
I'm not gonna read the suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them to you.
No, but I do agree that we should give our citizens some options and then let them kind of vote on, this is our mission, this is the mission statement for the city, or our city motto, whatever.
So would you like us to collect options over the next couple of weeks and present the options to you guys to present to the public?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah,
Yes.
That sounds good.
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. All right, any other things on 6.6?
No.
Okay, perfect, awesome. Now, consideration of amended senior center agreement, Miss Regina Goff.
Thank you, Your Honor. So I met with the president of the senior center as well as Tara Pigencloth and Sherry. I can't remember Sherry's last name. Forgive me. Cheryl Pye, is that her last name? Okay. At a week and a half ago, and Monty and Doug and Justin were also present for that meeting. We discussed the agreement. They had some concerns that were reasonable. For instance, the agreement previously included that we could allow other organizations to use the equipment that's solely owned by the seniors. We didn't know that it was solely owned by the seniors, so I talked to Cody about the concerns that the seniors brought up, and he amended the agreement, and so we've just presented the amended agreement to you. And also, when Monty, Jeff, and I attended the sheriff's sale a few weeks ago last week, I spoke with Tyson, and Tyson said that he looked at some previous agreements, and they did have a signature line for the county as well as a signature line for the seniors, because a county employee, full-time county employee, does utilize the building. And so that's the other change that Cody made, was there's a signature line now for the city mayor, for the county, and for the senior center. Cody, do you have anything to add?
Bonnie, Doug, anything you guys want to add from?
No, it was a very productive meeting. Cordial, good.
Perfect.
I agree.
All right, with that being said, I'll make a motion that we approve the amended senior center agreement as presented in our packets.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the amended senior center agreement as presented in our packets. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, perfect. All right, moving on to 6.8, consideration of funding request for officer hiring. Chief Oler.
I'm on now. I'm presenting a request for funding for the hiring of Officer Jesus Marquez. Officer Marquez is currently serving with the Great Bend Police Department. In May of 2025, we recruited Jesus as well as Great Bend. He subsequently took the Great Bend position. Some personal situation has changed with Officer Marquez, and he reached out to me seeking employment here recently. But under Kansas Statute 745609A, which was established in 2010, requires that the hiring agency reimburse the current law enforcement agency for all training, tuition, salary, benefits, and travel during his academy time. I did meet with Officer Marquez for about an hour in my office. He is a hometown Pratt kid, and he's wanting to establish employment here within our city. The $20,021.50 is the number that was provided by Chief Steve Hallmark and Deputy Clerk Allison Urban for Officer Marquez's 14 weeks in the Kansas Fall Law Enforcement Training Center. Running some numbers for an officer, if we send them, officer stats that we have now, that is in there in the academy. The city of Pratt is about $22,500 versus the $20,021.50 for that same time. Officer Marquez could start with us immediately and begin our FTO program. He has passed the required psychological examination, Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, and all background checks have been completed on him. A little history, in 2025, when I took this position, we were down 5 officers. We're trying to get our staffing back up. The hiring of Officer Warman, Officer Gata, Detective Sleef, and Officer Stats. If approved, Officer Marquez would leave our department 1 person short. So I'm seeking that funding. Fundings would be sourced out of Pratt Police Department regular employee and salary wages out of 431-101. An alternate funding source would also be our Special Fund 26, which is a VIN fund, fees that we collect when we do vehicle inspections for out-of-state motor vehicle titles. During this process, I had a conversation with Regina, and she and I both agreed that maybe a 2-year contract with Officer Marquez be established. I presented that. It's also in the packet. If there is any voluntary termination with Officer Marquez between the date of hire and a 2-year, and I think Cody could probably speak to this better. I think he had broke it down in a 24-month, month-by-month breakdown. So if he's here for 12 months, then obviously he wouldn't be required for the $20,000. It would be a 24-part, correct, Cody?
Yeah, prorated.
Right, and it's in your packet for review on the employment agreement that Cody prepared. And I thought it read well, and I had nothing to add or subtract from the agreement. But if there's any questions, I'm open to them.
It may sound strange that we would have to pay
Yeah.
another jurisdiction, but in the event that we had hired this officer when we recruited him in May of 2025, we would have paid his salary, his wages, and his travel, and the cost of his, any costs associated with his schooling. And so our starting wage for law enforcement officers is $25 an hour. Great Bend's is lower, so we're actually spending less than we would have had we recruited him, because he made 19 and change.
2160 was his starting wage with Great Bend PD. I think he's currently at 2022, and he got that raise upon completion October 3rd of 2025.
Okay.
So they're still well below our starting wage.
So we saved about $3 an hour.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So,
I'm fine.
so Chief, with and I'm fine with it too. So, Chief, with the hiring of this officer, along with, and how much longer does Officer Stats have?
He will graduate next Friday.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Are we going to be at full staff with officers wise?
We'll be short 1.
Short 1.
Yeah.
Well,
We're getting
being-
close.
we're getting close.
I do have several applications, but I'm wanting to hire the right person, not just a person. So I'm kind of particular about who that last person is going to be. But we're getting close. In 7 months, we went from 5 down to 1 down if Officer Marquez is approved.
Okay, perfect, awesome. All right, if there's no discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the funding request for Officer Marquez as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the funding request for the hiring of Officer Marquez. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
perfect. Yes. And last is 6.9, consideration of real estate purchase agreement, Ms. Regina Goff.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to share this also with Cody, because Cody has had more recent communication with the landowner than me. He just had a few questions about the contract itself. The commissioners did have a consensus that we would move forward with the purchasing of this property. I think that Jeff is going to try to put it up on Google Maps
Okay.
on the screen, just so that you can see it. All of you had a chance to drive by and look at the property?
Yes.
No, but that's okay.
Okay. It's about 6.8 acres, and this is the first step, the land acquisition in preparation for the future site of a water treatment plant. As you know, water contaminants are one of the largest issues facing the city, and so we need to be moving forward and making progress in the direction of the treatment plant. This land is owned by Don Quayle. Russ began the conversations with Mr. Quayle. This would abut the cemetery. It's in the north part of town.
Okay.
And we had to go through formalized appraisal processes with a yellow book, which is a federal appraisal. And that way, in case we are able to obtain state and federal loans in the future, we've been in compliance with the land acquisition. So the land appraised at $95,000. Mr. Quayle asked to pay $100,000 asked us to pay $100,000. When you consider all the equities involved, and we had looked at a different set of land, but that would have required the relocation of people and animals and the provision of another property for them. This is a much more affordable option because nothing needs to be cleared, nobody needs to be relocated, and because it is in the city limits and close enough. Right now, the plan is to move forward with a activated carbon biofiltration plant, which would not require the use of large brine ponds. However, in this location, should the activated carbon biofiltration not be acceptable to KDHE in the future, we do have access to be able to build some lines not far away to have brine ponds if we have to. So it's a double benefit there.
And EBH says the property is good to put this location for the carbon filtration plant and all that?
Yes, Mike Younger looked at both, and he said he obviously is in agreement with this. And he was in agreement with the other land too.
Okay.
He said he likes them both for different reasons, but that this one would work for our purposes.
Okay, perfect.
So, the property, with it being a city use for utilities, is that a conditional use, permitted use for that property there?
For the zoning?
Yeah. Do you know at all? Permitted use, we could just go on with it, or?
I think that utilities are allowed in almost every single zoning, you know, that city use.
Yeah.
But if not, then I know a guy to help with the changing of the zoning.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And how much did you say he was asking for, Gina?
$100,000.
Okay.
Now, with that, the city is going, Cody carefully drafted the contract because Mr. Quayle would like to give a $50,000 donation to the city. So the way that, Cody, can you explain how the contract reads
Sure.
to satisfy his request?
So that is addressed in the Section 2 purchase price. Essentially states that there will be a credit given in the amount of the donation amount of $50,000 to be handled at closing. I know one of the issues that was relayed to me was the seller wanted to essentially not have to bring any additional cash to closing. So treating it like a credit allowed us to do it that way. I did put some additional language in there that, you know, the city is not providing any tax advice or anything like that along those terms, just to make it clear that, you know, he's making that decision based on, you know, his own advice or any advice that he's receiving from his legal or tax advisors. But essentially it'll be taken care of at closing, and that protects the city because then we're not sitting, you know, waiting after closing for a donation to be made that we may not be able to enforce if the seller changes his mind. So that's how we handled that. I discussed this contract with him. He didn't have any concerns with any of that language, thought it looked just fine. The only things he really questioned, or didn't really question, but just had questions about, was the timelines. He's hoping to move it forward a little faster than what the timelines allow for in the agreement. I explained to him that I basically used, you know, common timelines that were there in case something comes up, like when we get the title commitment, if there's some unknown issues that he wasn't aware of that we would need to resolve in terms of the title. That just gives us what I believe will at least be enough time to address those. But I explained to him if there aren't any issues that come up in that process, you know, that's my understanding the city wants to move forward sooner than later as well. So that's why the language in the closing portion states that it's the date that's selected is essentially the date that it needs to close by. It's not the date that we have to close on. So the parties can always agree to close sooner than that date, and he understood that and said that was fine. So, but other than that, he felt like it looked good and he was ready to sign it.
Okay. Any other discussions or?
So where does the money come from?
We received $300,000 or more last year so far with the class action lawsuits. It had been the consensus of the commission that we would use any monies that we do receive towards the building of a water treatment plant. Tara, do you know whether or not we have $100,000 in the capital improvement? Which line item would this check come from?
It depends on if you want to use capital improvement or the PFAS.
With the,
Supplemental money.
oh, right, okay. So, I mean,
So is the PFAS money in tort liability or
No, it's in the water.
it's in the water fund?
in what?
In the water fund.
Okay.
And so do you have a separate line item for that money?
I'm not logged into the computer right now to know that off the top of my head. But I mean, I would be able to come up with what the revenue was. Yeah, I have a different revenue account for that settlement money.
Do you have any concerns from a budgetary perspective on purchasing this land?
No.
So we have the money in the water fund, you know, which line item, you know?
I mean, it'll just come out of the capital purchasing expense code.
Good. Perfect.
Okay.
I'd make a motion that we approve the real estate purchase agreement for the property for the water treatment plant.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of the real estate agreement for the purchase of the water treatment plant. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, there we go. All right, moving on to open public comment. City matters only, 3-minute time limit. Public is allowed to speak on issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to the issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor while the commission makes decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak on? Yes, please come up, sir. And then when you do come up, please give us your name and and where you live, of course.
Andrew Smith, 218 South Pine.
Okay.
Want to show you two pictures. Want you to look at the lead pickup. I don't mean to sideline you. What's wrong with it? Oh, like the police was arresting somebody. I didn't see much of it though. They were gonna do a traffic stop for a right headlight out. Right side headlight, not working. I'm gonna give you a better picture.
Okay.
That was dash cam. So now we'll go to a body cam. And again, right side headlight, not illuminated. Can I put you on the spot? With the traffic stop be over?
You could put me on the spot. The law doesn't say that it has to be working. It says it has to be functioning correctly. So if it is not displaying the proper amount of distance, it is reasonable suspicion to pull the vehicle over. There's case law on it.
But it's working.
Yeah. it's on, but to me, that looks much dimmer than the other one. So if I was a law enforcement officer, I would have reasonable suspicion to state that light is not compliant with the law.
Okay, so how do you explain the aggravated assault afterwards?
I don't have any information on that. I'm just answering your question on that.
Hang on a minute. Is this something for the commission here, or is this something that needs to take care of
You
the
guys hire
board?
and fire, right?
Our,
For the city.
our only job is to hire and fire the city manager.
That's
our
it.
That's our only job.
Okay, so you couldn't care less what the city police did?
I never said that, sir.
It was a question.
Yeah.
So I care. Not my pickup, not my traffic stop.
Mhm.
But a year later, still isn't resolved, the citizen says, hey, the headlights are working. To my common sense thought, traffic stops over, say, yeah, they're both working, sorry, have a nice night. But that isn't what happened. Tells them both it's working, then the officer tackles the citizen, arrests the citizen. Why? And do we really want that guy working?
Is this a current case?
Yeah,
If it's
a year later, and that
okay,
doesn't make
but
sense to me either.
If it's an aggravated assault, then it's in the district court because it's a felony charge.
No, because the police officer is the one I'm accusing of the aggravated assault. So as we're talking, if you were to tackle me now, that would be bad, right?
Well, sir, it seems to me that this is an active court case.
Right. But I don't think it should be. You are the prosecutor.
I am.
So why a year later is it still open?
I'm not going to comment now that I know what case you're talking about. It's an open case. We don't comment on open cases.
Okay.
And a lot of the delay that you're talking about was from the defense requesting continuances in the case. Right now, the judge is deciding on a motion.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that much on the procedural part, but I can't tell you anything else about it until it's resolved.
2 months to watch the video?
We're at 3 minutes on. Yeah. Sir, we appreciate this, but we do limit everything to 3 minutes. So,
Maybe a little oversight. All I'm asking for. You don't know if somebody didn't tell you.
Thank you, sir.
yeah.
Thank you.
Can I talk to you at your office tomorrow? Absolutely. Since I'm here tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Yes, please. Let's move on. Is there anyone else in the audience that needs to speak? Okay. Moving on. City manager.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I told all the department heads to keep comments brief tonight because there is a meeting at the municipal building that many of us want to attend, and it begins in just a few minutes. I will just tell you quickly that Kevin Cowan, our bond counsel, and Brett Schrogren with Stiefel will be here at the next commission meeting to discuss 2 items. One is the letting of the utility bonds to pay for the Caterpillar generators that are coming, and the other is to discuss the procedures and the potential of the city adopting a sales tax in order to reduce the property tax burden to the citizens of the city of Prattville.
All right. Any other questions for Gina? All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Public Works, Mr. Shanline.
All I have is, for the immediate, is the appointment of John Kissel as the superintendent of wastewater. With that also is the appointment of Lance Steiner as the foreman, and the permanent transfer of Mr. John Morgan from water department to wastewater. We figured that would be very good for the city to have him thoroughly cross-trained in both departments for the future.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Perfect. Any questions?
Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations. Yes. All right. Any other questions for Jeff? All right. Perfect. Building inspector, Mr. Walker.
Thank you. I don't have anything to
Just one quick question. I know since we passed that resolution, it has that wall between the old Woodies and all that. Has that come down, or is that?
No, I actually just got it served not too long ago.
Okay. So he has 15 days from. Okay.
To start.
To start. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Any other questions for Robert? Perfect. Awesome. Electrical department, Mr. Huber.
Well, this might take a little bit, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm getting a lot of questions questions about the dirt over there by our, off 10th Street, between the substation and the power plant. Long story short, we had a diesel tank that leaked years and years ago. KDHE came in and put some monitor wells in and watched that over the years. Well, finally came to remediation, and a dirt contractor was called in to remove the dirt. They take it south of town, spread it across fields, and then they were bringing in dirt from Hutchison to actually fill the holes. So they did find the contaminated dirt this morning when I got there, so that will be taken care of. So that's all it is. So, and our cats are delayed a couple months, so we're looking probably around August now when we get them in. And the generator itself's done. The containment that they go in are just backlogged like crazy. So
Okay.
that's all I have.
Real quick, how deep was the contamination?
Well, they dug to 30 feet deep. They hit water table, and they were 70 foot wide and 140 feet the hole, and it's big. It's almost 5,000 cubic yards of dirt. So,
If
yeah.
you want to drive over there, it's a really big hole.
And we didn't have good dirt around here, you had to go to Hutch and get it?
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Since KDH is, is paying for it, we're not asking.
okay, fair enough.
All right, perfect. Any other questions for Jamie? All right, thank you, sir. All right, rec department, Mr. Crouch.
Thank you, Mayor. We wrapped up our basketball season this past Saturday. We have our all-star teams playing in the Kansas Roots tournament at the Blythe LMS Municipal Building this weekend. And then one of our teams, 3rd and 4th grade, will go to Kansas City the following weekend to play in the state tournament. We were able to get donations to cover a very large portion of all the expenses for those tournaments from different businesses and individuals. Our spring registration opened up for soccer, some of our other adult sports as well, and our track meet. Doing some facility upgrades at 6th Street, Lemon, and then getting ready to kick off Green because the baseball season, tournament season starts at the end of March. We're doing our weekly or every other week point meetings. They're going well, making progress. The windows came in, and they're planning to start those tomorrow, actually. Chase just told me at the municipal building. So new windows will start going in at the municipal building tomorrow.
Was that big semi that was parked there?
Yeah, I'm not sure which semi it was, but the storage container that's on the south side of the building, that's where they're storing and locking all the windows up. And then they'll start putting them in tomorrow, is what Chase said. So that's all I got.
Perfect, love it. Any other questions for Justin? All right, thank you, sir. Chief Oler, Police Department.
Thank you, sir. Kind of business as usual at the police department. We did have a couple security requests from Pratt Community College for a basketball and wrestling event. They were uneventful, but we had officers on scene just in case. We did upgrade our forensic cell phone examining tool, Cellbrite, that I do the forensic cell phone examination still for the police department. Thanks to Mike LeClaire, spending 2.5 hours to do the install upgrade to the system. Rebecca Sleep, Detective Sleep, will be attending Cellbrite to take over those functions as soon as possible. We have Officer Barrett and Officer Sleep also attending the Everett Baxter Forensic Crime Scene School coming up shortly. It's a 2-week class down in Ada, Oklahoma. I did have a meeting with Sarah Luton from USD 382 and Terry Liggett from 438 and Terry Liggett from 382 about some funding requests for some drug prevention education programs for both the schools. So the opioid crisis fund that we're a part of, we can help fund some of those. So we're working with them to try to do some prevention education and treatment for some students. Short of that, nothing further.
Any questions for Chief? All right, perfect. Thank you, sir. All right, Chief Hoffman, Fire Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Everything seems to be going as normal. Haven't had anything major going on. Engine 1 did have a small issue with their foam system, and we did have Feld, which is the company we bought the truck from. They came out and checked it, and they did have one valve that was in the wrong position. Just a minor thing on there, so everything's working properly.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, any questions for Chief? Awesome. All right, thank you, sir. City Attorney, Mr. Smith.
Just real quick, since we're short on time, I'm not going anywhere immediately, but I did send out a notice that in April I'll be starting as a city attorney for the city of Hutchinson. So I'll still be here for a couple more meetings, so no need for any goodbyes right now. But yeah, just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. As far as the day-to-day, still been pretty busy with municipal court. I'll have some more stuff for you on the Schneider Trust. At the next meeting, I got the final documents from the trustee, so we'll get that wrapped up. And then I got a few other things that'll probably be on the agenda as well. But that's all I have.
So I will say, first of all, it breaks my heart that Cody's leaving us, but I completely understand why. It's too good of an opportunity. However, I have been speaking to some other city attorneys that I know. I have a few resumes for you to discuss at the next commission meeting, and we're also going to post the position tomorrow. And so we will have a couple
Well, guys, it's hard because you've been awesome for the city, but Hutchinson's going to really enjoy you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, any other questions for Cody? All right, thank you, sir. All right, Finance Department, Tara, do you have any?
No, I got a lot of year-end stuff done today. I did look up, we got around $345,000 of PFAS settlement. So we should have plenty of money in the water fund to make that payment.
Was that from 3M or from DuPont?
I think it was some from both.
Okay, some from both. Perfect.
Other than that, that's all I got.
Okay, any questions for Tara? All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, City Clerk, Ms. Garden.
I have nothing to report.
Man. All righty, with that being said, I have nothing to report, so Commissioner Hostetler?
Land Bank got its first property at that sheriff's sale.
Good.
Get possession in another, 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay, perfect.
Good
That's all.
deal.
Awesome.
Nothing.
The only thing is, I've had several really favorable comments about finishing the walking path through the park across from the tennis courts. Just, people seem to really like it.
Awesome. All right, Commissioner Blankenship.
Congratulations, Kyle, on your team.
Oh, thank you. Third place, highest for Pratt High and Scottsville. Very proud of them, so can't complain. So thank you.
That's it.
All right, with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn for the evening.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.